So as you can see, we're in preview mode. The reason we're not in edit mode is that I'm very conscious that I want to talk to you about the pedagogy and the learning that went on behind the creation and the use of this app, and not necessarily how it's been created. The images on the home screen and the itinerary were taken by me on a preliminary visit to Paris, and it gave the children a really good idea of some of the sights that they'd be seeing when we got there. The itinerary was done prior to the trip and was a brilliant way in for the children to carry out some targeted research before we went. They'd obviously heard of many of the landmarks we were going to, but did not necessarily have a deeper understanding of them. So to have those names and images already in their vocabulary was of great advantage before we went on the trip. As you can imagine, the blog had the most impact on the children's writing. Each night at the hotel, the children would work in 2s or 3s and add to the daily blog. They decided on which categories they wanted the blog divided up into, based on research they'd carried out in textbooks and online. What was evident when the children were writing their blogs, and particularly when they were talking about them prior to adding to them at the end of the day, was the deep thinking involved as to what the content of the blogs would be. And this showed a real understanding of art, of culture, of geography, and a sense of audience. It's not just a list of what they did. The concept of writing for a real audience, whether it be their parents or those back at school, had a profound effect on what and how they wrote, and indeed how they approached their writing. The reflections section was completed on our return to school and was the perfect vehicle for the children to do some reflective writing after their trip to Paris. The maps section of the app gave parents and those back at school an idea of where the children had been on any particular day during the trip. As with other sections of the app, it was added to each evening by different groups of children. The children carried a paper map with them wherever we went in Paris, and also an iPad which had an interactive map and location services so they could tag themselves wherever they were. But the process of adding pins to an interactive map on their app deepened their understanding of the geography of Paris and where they'd been. The final section of the app is the photo gallery. Watching this develop over the 4 days we were there was very, very interesting. The children didn't just go around snapping everything that caught their eye. Instead, and because the app gave them a vehicle to show their photographs to a real audience, they were very careful and thoughtful in their composition of shots and how they might look on the app. The children were constantly discussing amongst themselves which scenes might make for a good picture for the app. So they were really concerned with composition and how they wanted their audience to view what they were seeing in Paris. That was a favourite and took some doing. I'll let you look through the rest of these and hope you enjoy them.